I don't know if I've mentioned that it's cold, but it is cold. Hi guys, this is Connie. It's our one take, 1-8. And today's the 5th because tomorrow's the 6th. I'm considering tomorrow to be a dark day because tomorrow is going to be the 2nd anniversary of when we learned that we had lost our first baby. Our baby button Tryon was miscarried. And so that's a thing. Big thanks and shout out to my sister who came over with my niece. Oh, good grief. Scared the crap out of me. By the way, if you don't know what this is one of those baby gates. This is what we got for Christmas from my mom and dad. And Papa Roland just put it in the back, and it decided when I took the turn to, I'm so glad that this window is a lot stronger than my nerves, apparently, because I almost jumped hearing that thing come together. And it's very, very cold outside right now. The dash is reading 15 degrees, but with the wind chill, it feels like single digits, just above 0. And what else was I saying? And shout out to my niece and my sister. They came out and visited with me and baby bear, and they always just have such a really good time and such a joyful dynamic. What are you doing with this traffic? Anywho, cars moving all over creation. It's weird. One of the last times I was stopped out here, fun fact, was because it was covered in snow and the power lines came down. That was fun. I think I was in a Cavalier at that point. Whew. Not in my Corolla. I don't think it was my Corolla. It was with my brother Fred at the time too, so that was fun. Getting stuck in the ice and snow. They're anticipating more of it come Monday, so at least we'll have a weekend of sunshine. It's still going to be frigid, freezing cold. Sorry, I was checking out one of my old friends' houses because a lot of it looks like it's completely dark, which makes me sad for various reasons that I'm not going to go into on this video. So they came over. I had kind of joked with my sister about totally getting drunk tomorrow so I could just forget things, but the last time I had alcohol, I proceeded the next day to have the worst migraine I have ever experienced, and I don't know if that was a factor or not, or just a factor of other things that were going on and perpetuated by half a glass of wine, which is ridiculous because I didn't even get drunk. I had it with food, and my body just said, nope, migraine. So I don't anticipate having much, if any. But I said, you know what might be better? What might be better is like going to Chili's and getting one of those big molten chocolate cakes. You know, the ridiculous ones that has like almost your entire day's worth of caloric intake. And I shouldn't be able to finish that by myself, but I know that when I really put myself to it, I totally could. And instead, we did get Chili's, but they actually have this thing called a party platter trio, and it has the small molten cakes, it's got cheesecake, and it's got their little skillet cookies, which was phenomenal. Of course, it was like over $30, but like between the handful of us that, you know, I sent her home with like 3 or 4 desserts. Mustachio and I can have a bunch of desserts tomorrow if we really want. It hits the spot. It's so good. It's perfect. And we all had lunch or had dinner tonight. We bought Chili's, and long story longer, went out and I got this order. Didn't check it until I got home, and then I called back and I said, yeah, I was just there with the big order under, you know, whatever, yada yada. we were missing half of my sister's order. And they said, oh, we're really sorry. Did you want to come and pick up that order? Or did you want us to get your name down so we offer you a free dessert next time you come in? We're really sorry about the inconvenience and the mix-up. I said, actually, I would like to come and get it. I said, is there any way we could get like some chips and queso on top of all this? They're like, yeah, absolutely. So not only did they, fix the rest of the order, they gave us a giant bag of tortilla chips and their salsa and queso. It was glorious, because I had a little bit of that tonight too. Although, as great as it feels to like gorge myself on food, because that's usually my scapegoat situation. Food essentially is my drug in many cases. I woke up with a renewed sense of trying to, it's hard to explain, but I woke up wanting to pray and seek God on behalf of a friend of mine who I've made a video about in the past, and he put a live stream on. He's suffering from leukemia. He's fighting the good fight against cancer, and the doctors say he will lose. And a part of me just does not want to. It's a paradox of sorts in faith, because I have every understanding in my faith that God is a healer. He has restored so many things in me. He has brought wholeness to me on so many different occasions. He has brought physical healing to me and to many people that I've known. And he's not bigger than cancer. But he doesn't always heal the way we anticipate healing to come. And sometimes, God is allowed to say no. And I think it's admirable. This gentleman has faced his mortality with the grace and humility of Christ, and I think it's amazing. But I also feel like this shouldn't be the end chapter of where he makes his impact. So it goes back and forth, because there are scriptures that talk about, a seed can't really bear fruit unless it falls to the ground and dies, and then it is able to multiply even greater. But then I think about this Old Testament story, and I looked it up. It's in Isaiah 38. And it talks about how King Hezekiah was told by Isaiah the prophet, while he was sick, he's like, you are going to die. You are not going to recover from this sickness. And he cried and prayed and sought the Lord. And the Lord told Isaiah to go back and tell him that the Lord had heard his cry and would add 15 years to his life. And so I don't know how to actively pray that, but I know that prayer changes things. There's a scripture in Jeremiah 29:11 that a lot of people love to quote, because it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and to give you, to prosper you and not to harm you, but to give you a future and a hope." And I remember somebody reminding me, God said he knew the plans for us. Well, yes, he has a plan for our lives, but he also gives us the free will to choose whether or not we want to be obedient and to follow through with it. He also has other alternatives. God is the ultimate plot twist writer. He is the one who could take any person's story, and I've seen him do it in several people's lives that mean very much to me, and he's able to rewrite those stories in ways that I'm just like, God, unless you intervene in some way, I have no idea how this is going to accomplish anything good. And he has. He's done incredible things in other people's lives, and I want to believe that he will do the same for my friend. I want to believe that while all natural causes say he needs to put his affairs in order and start preparing for the end, I want to just believe, and I do believe, and I don't know what I need to do to be effective in my prayers or to be fervent in my prayers. And it's something I'm going to have to seek a little bit further. But I have faith that I want God to heal him miraculously. I want the doctors to have no idea what happened. I want it to be a medical miracle, an act of God that nobody could deny. And I believe that it can happen. And I hope it does happen. But I started thinking about that. And then I was trying to think about my own condition as far as I will eat regardless of whether I'm hungry or not, or eat more after I'm not hungry. And thinking about how life truly is a gift, and I've been squandering it because now my body just is in poor shape, and I can't even keep up with my infant daughter. And I know we want to have more kids, and I want to be able to keep up with them and thrive in raising them and growing with them over the years. And so it definitely made me think more about eating when I'm hungry, how much I eat when I'm hungry, and to just try to find that balance has helped a lot today specifically. I did definitely overindulge in some of the chili, but I didn't clean the plate except for the mini molten cake. That I purposely went overboard on. So it's been a very interesting and educational day. That's about where I'm at. So I hope you had a wonderful Friday. I hope you were not freezing, although I'm thinking about most of the United States of America, and most of us are very, very cold. Except maybe California. They might still be dry. Don't know. So, what is your winter like? Let me know in the comments below. Be careful with that and enjoy, please and thank you. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.